All right, I'm the last speaker today. So, is that, yeah, round of applause, last speaker. I was tempted to have everyone stand up and move around a little bit, but I didn't want that red light to start flashing sooner, so I'm gonna skip that. So my job is to offer a few comments on sort of the general area of public and private partnerships and some of my experiences that I've seen so far. And what I really want to do is walk you through where I saw some of the big opportunities and challenges in the work that we're doing every day, putting together these partnerships. But our overall goal when we wake up, come to the office every day, is try to make the healthy choice the easy choice throughout a person's day. Every decision that they make, we want them to have a healthy option as part of that. And why I'm excited about this is because the momentum, in my mind, is really here. I think if we'd had this meeting 5 years ago, I think we'd have a very different feeling coming into this discussion. Whereas right now, and I'll share with you some of my observations, things are really looking up. But why is this difficult process, these public-private partnerships? Well, I think part of it is something that Lisa alluded to, which is that there's been a lot of distrust between some members of the public sector and some members of the private sector over time, and particularly in the food industry. And I think all parts of the community are working together to try to get around that. And I think we've seen some interesting progress there that is allowing this to happen. But that trust really needs to be built up, and it's only going to take proof from both sides for us to really get around that. But when I get back to the momentum that I'm seeing, number one, we have the First Lady, who's really, in my mind, changed the way that people are thinking about the issues of health and wellness, and is really in a way that very few people have been able to do, as all of you know, get people thinking differently about these issues. The public is learning, is interested in hearing, is very excited about this, and I think that's maybe most evident by the fact that more and more we're hearing, at least I'm hearing from industry, who is feeling pressure to provide more healthy options. Some of it is maybe public pressure, political pressure, but a lot of it is customer pressure. You don't have some of the changes that we've seen happen without significant customer pressure, because companies have a right and have a duty to make a profit for their shareholders. And what's going to be great for us is if we can make if we can make it effective for them to make that profit by making healthier options available. So you heard about the Healthy Weight Commitment Foundation. We've now done about 70 agreements with the private sector in the last 4 years that have focused on areas from food, nutrition, formulation, access, affordability. We've worked with Walmart to reformulate the food that they sell, worked with Walmart to make their healthier food more affordable. You heard about Darden restaurants and other parts of the food industry that are making the healthy choice easier for American families. Within physical activity, our focus has been to work in 3 areas: communities, schools, and home. You heard a little bit today about Let's Move Active Schools. To me, that's one of the most exciting opportunities that we have to really help change what's happening in schools for American families, so that kids can get the amount of physical activity that they need on a regular basis. Early childhood education is one of the first initiatives that we did at PHA. We now have about 200,000 children that are in early childhood education on a daily basis that, once fully implemented, will hit the higher standards for food, physical activity, and other areas, so that parents will know that when they take their kids to those places, they're not having to do anything more, they're not having to pay anything more, but they're having the healthiest outcomes for their kids. And I could go on and on with healthcare IT, the guidelines that we worked on with Healthy Hospital Food, which is going to impact 400 hospitals and more. The other thing that we've done is we've been able to, and this is a real opportunity, I think, moving forward, bring competitors together. Some of you may have seen that the water industry came together as part of the Drink Up launch. It's an effort in a positive way to talk about water being the great choice for you when you make a decision on what you want to drink. We have bottled water, we have recyclable bottles, we have taps. All kinds of people who are very fierce competitors have come together with a joint logo and a joint message that I believe is going to be very effective. And finally, the emerging evidence that we're beginning to see that it's working. Hank Cardello's research at the Hudson Institute is one prime example. I'm really excited about what we've seen happen with Bird's Eye Foods, one of our partners. Bird's Eye ran a campaign to push fruits and vegetables to kids by kids, And in the sales quarter following that promotion, they saw their profits significantly increase in an era when all the frozen food industry was going down. So that's real life positive results. The challenges that I see are, number one, this is really hard. Meaningful change is really difficult. You have to understand from a CEO's perspective that CEOs leave, strategies change, things don't work. Our process requires a signed contract, transparent accountability and results, so we're going to be telling the story and what happens. It's very difficult. And so our process, for every 10 companies we talk to, maybe one makes it through the system. It's really very challenging. And I think for American families and for the public, it's going to be important for them to learn, and I think they are beginning to learn, to differentiate between a press release announcing a change and an announcement that involves third-party verification, which is a very different standard. And as companies are beginning to see the value of working with a third party to have an independent verification, that's going to lead to more what I think are elite announcements that the public can really have trust in. Finally, I just want to mention that I'm asked often about, are these changes working? And I think time is really going to tell. I don't think any single one of the changes that we're making is going to solve this problem, but I do believe and hope that the changes that we're making, along with the great changes that are happening in government and the changes that can happen there, marketing, communications, and programs around the country, all can come together so we can continue to see progress in this space. It's our job to make these initiatives successful. And when I mean successful for these sorts of initiatives is when we're seeing companies go out and make significant changes that are taking risk, we need to make those profitable for the companies. If they're not profitable, they're not going to be sustainable. And if they are profitable, they're going to be sustainable. So all of our job, I believe, is to help make these things work. Thank you very much.